Hello everyone, this is the first video of the Python series. In this video, we are going to see the introduction to Python. We are going to see what is actually Python, why we should learn Python, what are the features and what makes Python so interesting. We will also see some advantages and disadvantages of Python when compared to other programming languages. We will also see why Python is so popular and what are its applications. So let us begin. Python. Python is a widely used general purpose high level programming language. We know what a high level programming language is. A high level programming language is very English like. It can be read like English and it needs a compiler or an interpreter to convert it to a machine level language. We have already seen this. And also Python is a general purpose language. General purpose means that the programs written in Python can find a wide range of application. Python is not meant for programming in one particular domain. Python was created by Guido von Rossum in 1991. He was a Dutch computer scientist. Nowadays, Python is further being developed by Python Software Foundation. There are two major versions of Python, Python 2 and Python 3. Python 3 is the one that is being used right now. The support for Python 2 has been stopped. And there are major differences between Python 2 and Python 3. The latest version of Python is 3.10.x. X here stands for any number. So right now, I think the current version of Python that is downloadable from python.org is 3.10.7. Now let us see some features of Python. There are many features of Python that make Python very interesting. In addition to what you see on the screen, one of the major features of Python is that Python is easy to understand. As we said, it is a high-level programming language. It is very English-like. And so anybody can read a Python program and understand what the program is trying to do. Also, it is easy to write. And since it is easy to understand, it is easy to write, we may as well say that Python is easy to learn. And we can also now add a point, even though it is quite redundant, that point Python is easy to read. It is also an interpreted language. Interpreted language. We already know the difference between a compiler and an interpreter. Compiler is a language converter which converts high-level language to low-level language in one round. Whereas an interpreter converts a high-level language into a low-level language line by line, and hence it will give the output one line at a time. In addition to all these, Python has these all features. So let us go through them one by one. The first feature is dynamically typed. So languages are of two types. One is statically typed, and the other one is dynamically typed. In a statically typed language like Java or C++, the type of a variable is declared and it cannot be changed. Whereas in case of a dynamically typed language, the type of the variable is identified by the type of the value that the variable stores. For example, x can be equal to 10 and then x can be equal to 15.0. X can also be equal to a in the same program. So you can see that x is storing different types of values. So this is a dynamically typed language, and this kind of feature is supported by Python. So we call Python a dynamically typed language. Next is an object-oriented language. So object-oriented language treats every variable or every element as a object, as a class. So Python is also one of those object-oriented languages. Python is also an open source language. This means that the source code of Python is available, and Python is also available to us for free. So basically Python is a free language. Next is a large community support. Python has one of the large community supports in the world when compared to all the programming languages. If you have any query regarding Python or Python programming, you can go to one of those communities and ask your questions. People will be very glad to help you out. One of those communities is Stack Overflow. Stack Overflow. Next is a large standard library. Every programming language has a standard library. Python also has standard library. But the specialty of Python standard library is that it is very large. It has a large number of modules. It has a large numbers of functions associated so that it makes our task very, very easy. The next feature is platform independent. This is sometimes also called as a cross-platform language. Cross-platform language or a platform-independent language means that the program written in a language can be run on different platforms without much change in the program. A program which you write for a Windows platform can also run on a Linux platform, can also run on a Mac OS. Not much changes will be required in the program. As explained earlier, Python is a high-level language. That is, it is written in very close to English-like language. And it is an interpreted language, as I explained earlier. It needs an interpreter to convert and run the program line by line. The last feature mentioned here is extensible and embeddable. This means that Python is extensible. In this, you can put the code written in Python with other programming languages. That is, if you write a Python code, you can put it inside a C++ code or a Java code depending on your requirements. Embeddable means that your Python code can in turn have all these languages built. These are the various features of Python. Now let us look at some of the advantages or disadvantages. First, let us go through the advantages. The points that we discussed in the previous slide, that it is easy to understand, easy to write, easy to learn, easy to read, all these can be advantages of Python. But let us look at some more. Improved productivity. Now, improved productivity is because we can easily read, easily write the program. We can also write in less time and less code. So all these will increase our productivity. Python is an interpreted language. So being an interpreted language, it gives output faster. And therefore it is an advantage. It also, being an interpreted language, we can also detect errors faster. Python is a dynamically typed language. Now, why is it an advantage of Python? Because at any time, if you are converting the type of the variable, maybe it is because of some calculations or other needs, your program will not give errors. Python is free and open source. Python is available to us for free. The source code of Python is also available for free. So whosoever wants to use Python doesn't have to pay any amount and they can easily use Python language. Vast libraries support. As explained earlier, Python has a vast library which are inbuilt into Python language. Also, since it has a large community support, the community also keeps writing libraries for Python which can be used while writing the programs. So this also becomes an advantage for us. Now let us look at some of the disadvantages. The first disadvantage is that it has slow speed. This slow speed is because Python is an interpreted language. Being an interpreted language, it has to convert the high-level program to a low-level program line by line. And also, it gives the output line by line, which causes slow speed. It is not memory efficient. When we will start writing programs in Python, we will realize that there is no garbage collection, and there is also no way to free memory while writing a program. Therefore, it is not memory efficient. Weak in mobile computing. Database access. So when you're trying to access a database in Python language, it becomes a little bit cumbersome, even though there are some libraries like PyMySQL, which allow us to access database, but it is a little bit cumbersome. Runtime errors. Now, because it is a dynamically typed language, there might be circumstances where you will get runtime errors because of improper type conversions. So I hope this is clear. So let us move to applications of Python. Python is one of the most popular languages right now, and it being a lightweight program, since it is very easy to read, write and learn, it finds applications in a vast domain. First application is web development. So Python is extensively used to develop web applications. Next is games and 3D graphics. Python is used to develop. There are a large number of games right now which are written in Python, and 3D graphics is also done using Python with its inbuilt libraries. Business applications. So Python is very extensively used in data science field right now. Data science, data analytics, because of some of its popular modules like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, etc. Software development. Python is extensively used in software development because it is very easy to read and write. It is used in network programming it is used in client-side programming, it is used in server-side programming, and database access. So even though database access is a little bit cumbersome in Python, but still there are modules like PyMySQL which make accessing database easier, and hence it is used for database access. So these were some of the features, advantages, disadvantages and applications of Python. I hope you understood it, and if you have any doubts, please write it in comments and we will discuss and clarify. In the next video, we are going to learn how to install and what are the different modes of execution of Python programs. Till then, bye bye.